I was listening to a preacher this morning named Jack Hibbs, and he was talking about Jonah and the city of Nineveh. Now, I love the story of Jonah because it shows us what can happen when we yield to God's will. Let's talk about that today in your morning cup of inspiration. See, Jonah knew that God wanted him to go to Nineveh, but he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go there because he knew God wanted him to tell the people what was coming. And he didn't want to be that person on the street, like the crazy person out there going, yeah, the world's coming to an end. He didn't want him to be that. He didn't want to be that person. So what did he do? He got on a boat and he went the opposite direction towards Tarshish. And while sailing, a mighty storm came up. And when the men of the boat approached him, he admitted that he's disobeying God. So he was the problem. So what do the guys do? They throw him overboard. They throw him off the boat. Nice. Well, they did the right thing because as soon as they did that, the storm ceased. But here's Jonah floating around out there in the water. I mean, all he could do is sink or swim, right? Or try to float. But what does God do? He sends this big fish. Now, I say a big fish. We say it's a whale because that's the biggest fish we could think of in our day that we know about that could swallow him whole and not even, put a bite mark on him. So here's Jonah in the belly of the whale, and he's there for 3 days and 3 nights. The Bible tells us that while he's there, he cried out to God. He repented, and then he praised him. He praised him. So what does God do? He has the big fish take a swim and throws Jonah up right on the shores of Nineveh. Now, 2 things. First of all, he's in his belly for 3 days, and he's never digested. I think that's amazing in itself. And think of all the acids and stuff in this stomach. He's never digested. Then he throws him up right to where he wanted him to go in the first place, in Nineveh. Well, Jonah 3:4 tells us, and Jonah began to enter the city for the first day's walk, and he cried out, yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. See, Jonah underwent a transformation in the belly of the whale. He knew what his mission was, and he was going to fulfill it no matter what. He spoke with authority. He had an urgency to his voice. He had to tell the people, the end is coming here. God is coming to destroy you because of what you've become and that you've turned your back on him. You notice that both times, it says once in the belly of the whale and then again on the streets of Nineveh that Jonah cried out to God, or cried out. Are you at that place in your life where you need to cry out to God? In Jeremiah 33:3, God says, call to me, I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you do not know. And then it says over in Jonah 3:5, so the people of Nineveh believed Jonah, proclaimed the fast and put on sackcloth from the greatest to the least of them. The people of Nineveh, they repented. And it started when Jonah repented and willingly obeyed God. God bless you, everyone. Look forward to seeing you again for another morning cup of inspiration. Have a wonderful day.